everybody. I love Facebook. Hey, Tina. I see you. I already know. I didn't forget. I even set an alarm for you for 5:55. I sure did. I sure did. So, welcome to another Stutter Style production on this ATBA network. Okay, do y'all hear me? Do y'all hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Tell a friend. Let them know we here. We about to cut up tonight because we talking about traveling tonight. And I got you got that right. And I got my family, my blood on here tonight. I'm proud tonight, y'all. My chest stuck out tonight. You hear me? So tonight I have a guest on. And before I get started, I want to say, hey, Tina. Tina tried to come on tonight. So, but I told her no because she's driving and she needs to pay attention to the road. So she's on here tonight. She's like, you make sure you let me know and remind me that you're going to be on. So thank you, Tina. I love you and your dedication to me, to ATBA, and most importantly, your dedication to you. All right. So tonight we are having a conversation about travel. And travel is very interesting to me because travel is something that I always said that I didn't like to do. I always called myself a homebody because of where I came from. And I didn't really want to, get on a plane. I'm like, something, my alarm, y'all. I got alarms everywhere. I just didn't understand why something so big should be in the air. So I just didn't feel like an airplane was just a rational decision for me. I don't know about y'all, but it just didn't feel right to me. But that was because I had told myself enough that I convinced myself. And upon convincing myself, it became a belief of mine. But it was no one else's doing. It was just me accepting what definitions of things mean and what rational mean and my perspective of things, right? Grand evening, Angelique, the artist. And so I realized that after life caused me to have to move and travel became an option because I just had time and I didn't know what to do with my time. It changed my complete outlook on not just travel, but life. Seeing not just the differences in travel, but seeing how many places are very similar as well, and how everybody just do it a little bit different. So we are talking about travel tonight, and I am excited because we are talking to my cousin, Deon Jenkins. Success Jenkins. That is the name of his business, Travel with Success. And we're going to be talking about traveling in the post-pandemic era and how, the pandemic is actually what forced me, what the pandemic is what allowed me to see the opportunity that I had to travel, to be able to travel, the opportunity to travel. And everything was shut down so much. I knew everything was going to be clean as hell because, everybody wiping everything down as a protocol. We 6 feet away. I'm like, okay, I got some elbow room. I can travel now. I can travel now. It made sense for me to travel there. Some people were afraid to travel. So with me having that unique experience, we want to talk about what was your experience through that? Have you reintroduced yourself to travel? What has it been like since you started? So we're going to be getting into it tonight. And I can't wait to hear y'all's input. So make sure you're in the comments. Also, I want to remind everybody, first weekend of December, the Healing Summit is happening. It's the 1st, the 2nd, and the 3rd. We have 12 amazing speakers, and it is going to be an absolutely amazing time. So the tickets are on sale in Eventbrite. I'll put the link in the comments. If someone has access to that link, you can put it in the comments. I really greatly appreciate it. But if not, I will put it in the comments later. It is donation-based only, so you can pay anywhere from $1 to $1 million. We'll take the million, and we'll gladly take the dollar as well. And if you are in a position to where you do not have $1 or you do not have any electric money transfer type of thing, you don't have cash, whatever that thing is, let us know. We will get you the information that you need to see it. And it will also be in ATBA live as well. But that ticket gets you inside of the Zoom room so you can talk to the presenters, interact with people, and actually be like on the front seat of the actual summit. So the link will be in the comments soon. So if everybody knows how I do on the show, when I bring my guest on, I make a video of them. And they don't see it for the first time until the show when y'all see it. So this is the video. I looked through Deon's videos on Facebook. I saved quite a few of them, which you'll see why I saved quite a few of them. And then I just started to listen to some of the things that he was saying. And what stood out to me was this.
You guys have seen some of the posts I have. The one I posted yesterday about why I named my travel agency Travel with Success. And part of it is just, what about travel is my goal for my business is to make sure that my clients are able to travel safely, successfully, and enjoy it, to create memories, to be able to have experiences that they can tell their kids, their grandkids, and memories that's going to last a lifetime. The other thing is I want people to get out here and travel and understand what travel is really about. A lot of people that I know were born wherever they are and they die there. They don't travel outside of where they are. And the world is so many great, wonderful things to explore. As I show you this background here. Wonderful things to explore, wonderful things to enjoy. And we stay home in our backyard, don't do anything. And I think that's a travesty. I think life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. And I think that we need to get out and enjoy. I remember when I first got into the business, for me, travel was going to King's Dominion, going to Hershey Park, Busch Gardens, and that was travel to me. When I got into this business, it allowed me to have the opportunity to get a passport, fly for the first time getting my passport stamp, going on a cruise. I mean, this business has afforded me to go to many countries, and it's just been an amazing experience. And I want you guys to be able to experience it. So that's the other part of my business. I want you guys to travel around the world, not only just through me, but with me. Follow me on Instagram at PTA_success. And my website, if you want to look at my website, check out my business, support me, www.successjenkins.com. I would love to take care of all your travel needs. And if you want to get into this business with me, hit me up. I'm going to help you guys grow your business and teach you how to travel like rock stars on rock bottom prices. So, again, y'all have a great day on purpose, and I will see y'all soon. Stay blessed.
Whoa.
Wasn't ready for that, but I love it.
You love it.
It brings back a lot of memories. Because that was when we first started traveling right after the pandemic. And, as you saw, the mask was on and, I was still traveling. Traveling was still going on. That's one thing I love about travel. It's never going away.
Yeah, that's good right there. So y'all, this is the man. This is the man with the plan when it comes to traveling anywhere in the land. Do you hear that? Yeah, I'm dropping bars, cousin. But I am excited to have you here because I'm gonna throw this out here and then we're gonna skip we're gonna have to wait to the end for you to hear the rest of it. But ATBA is having a cruise next year. It is the reunion tour. And if you want to know more about it, you better stick around. Anyway, I just wanted to spill just a little bit, just enough to get your socks wet that you gotta wait a little bit, So I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them a little bit about Deon.
All right. Excuse me. My name is Deon Jenkins, and I'm here in the Maryland, D.C. area, DMV for the people who are familiar with that area. And I've been here for the majority of my life. I know I started off in my life in D.C., moved to Maryland, went to college in Maryland, moved and bought me a house in Maryland. So it's been that type of thing. So when I talk about that experience, of being in your own area and expanding and seeing the world, I'm talking from personal experience. I've been all types of things. I write novels. I have affirmation and gratitude journals as well. I love giving motivational speeches and just encouraging people and things like that. I also love traveling. As you guys know, my addiction is cruising. So if y'all ever see me on the cruise, it's because I need some healing and I need some time for myself and some self-care. For me, that is self-care. And that's pretty much it. I love helping people. I love being able to show people more than what they have now. I think that life has so much for us to explore and to experience for us to just not sit back here and not do it. So.
Oh, yes. So what was your first cruise?
My first cruise was from Florida. I want to say it was Port Canaveral. I got on the Carnival Victory, which is now called the Radiance. And we went from Florida to Nassau and back to Florida, 3-day cruise. And I'm telling you, I was addicted.
It was it. It was all she wrote, huh?
That was it. 3 days. I was like, I'm getting off. I just got on this thing. Wait a minute. We got to do this again. Rewind. But it was a beautiful thing. You know, the beauty of that particular cruise for me and why that is so special to me, not only did I get to experience cruising for the first time, but everyone around me in our group, that was their first time on a cruise as well. It was my first time, you know, when you go to like places, not even when you go to, but when you are in a situation where you're looking at movies and you see all this blue water, and then you go to the water where you are and it's like brown and green and stuff. You're just like, what is this? To actually go to a place and actually see that blue water with my own eyes instead of just on TV. I'm like, oh, so the TV wasn't lying. Because for a long time, I thought the TV was lying. Like, oh, it's about this blue water. I never see blue water. But yeah.
It exists. You're here to tell the people it exists. You know, I got to see some of it too. You know, Myrtle Beach ain't bad. Don't get me wrong. Myrtle Beach is probably one of the cleaner water beaches. But I want to see that clear water. I want to see my toes wiggle clear as day. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see straight through. I'm going to tell you this real quick and we can go on. When I first got to Nassau, I didn't even know how to get to Atlantis. I just saw it. I was like, that's the thing that I always see in the pictures. And we got onto a little boat. They gave us these little tickets, like a piece of paper. I don't think I have a piece of paper, but they gave a paper saying $4. That was our receipt to get on this boat. And I'm looking at my friends like, do you think we're going to make it there? They trying to kidnap us or what? But we got there. And when we went to that beach, the water, I mean, it was so clear. I mean, you could see the fish swimming through. And it was just like, I looked at it, I'm just like, I'm never leaving this place. I'm moving here. Y'all, I'm not even getting back on the ship. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. Don't even worry about it, huh?
So when you get your opportunity, I want to be there so I can take pictures of it and just like for just memory, just for you.
Yeah. Oh, I am ready. I am ready. Well, this is a good topic because talking about after the pandemic, I know after the pandemic was more than just, you know, safe travel, but you know, a lot of things are going on around the country, around the nation, around the this, around the that. I don't even know. Somebody said we was at war. I'm just not even knowing nothing, you know. But I do want to see things. I do want to experience things. And it's nice to have somebody that I can call because I do. I mean, anything come up and I got to go anywhere, I'm taking them. I'm like, Grand Rising. How are you? How's it going? Now, when you free? Because we got to talk. I got to talk to you about something. And he's always there, Johnny on the spot, calling places for me, pulling up things. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna do no business with nobody else. So before we go too far, he is the ATBA travel agent. But you may be wondering if it's your first time here, what is ATBA? Well, let me tell you. And then we're gonna get into why he started his business and what's behind the name of Travel with Success. We'll be right back.
How beautiful. Carry it.
All right, so for y'all that don't know me, I can be a whole vibe, right? And you know why I'm a whole vibe? Why do you think I'm a whole vibe? You don't know? Anybody got a guess of why? Because the energy, because I'm fly, because what else? What else we got? Because I'm carrying. That's why. I'm a whole vibe. Because I decided to just be me.
ATBA Impact Group is an extension of my inner calling to create a space for people to truly be themselves authentically without having to ask permission from anyone, not worrying about what anyone's going to think about it. That's what makes the resources at ATBA Impact Group so rich, because the only requirement is to be authentic. And when someone is looking for you to be more authentic because it pleases your soul, it makes it so much better to show up that way, so much easier to show up that way. Because being oneself, I found, for me, has been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Yet when I mastered just being who I am, it's accompanied with such ease. And that is the way of HBA. We want to create an environment where everybody belongs there. And that is our focus. We're planting positive seeds of change on a consistent basis in order to continuously eliminate competition through collaboration. And we have mastered that because we have focused on mastering ourselves. And then we can just show up and do that, knowing that no one else can do that.
Yeah, buddy. So if you want to get with ATBA, you want to collaborate with us, you need any specialized services and coaching and service, anything like that, hit me up, because there is somebody within the ATBA network that can do exactly what you're looking for. I'm sure of it. So, and one of those things is travel. So if you need anybody to help you with your travel, this is the guy. So we're going to start just from the beginning. How did you come up with the name Travel with Success?
So the success part came from a cousin of mine, where she always was talking to people in a motivational way, saying, you know, whatever you are, remember you are a success. And success was always a part of her message. And I took that with me, and I realized everything I do, I want to be a success. I am a success. And it just translated into that. So when I put it with travel, I was like, hey, traveling, success. So it's kind of like a two-part thing where, you know, I want people to come travel with me. So that's travel with success, me being a success. But then I also want to travel successfully. So that's how I came up with the name. I want to show you guys how to do it and be there to help you from the beginning, while you're on the trip, and afterwards.
Okay, y'all better come through, cuz y'all better listen up. Somebody's ears sparking out there. You hear me? They're like, well, I mean, I really did need somebody. I'm actually my business is starting to boom. I'm moving around a lot more often. And sometimes I don't have time to do the things and I do diligence when I'm looking things up and I'm booking things, and, you know, and not to mention when it's time to relax, you want to have that already in place. After you've been here and there and there, when it's time for you to relax, you want that to already be in place. That's what Travel Success do. Now, speaking of, I was going to ask how long you been in business, but if anybody scroll down Facebook today, someone is celebrating the anniversary. Now, was that post today or yesterday?
It's actually, I posted it when we had the event on the 21st, was actually the 26th, so 2 days ago, 3 days ago now.
3 days ago. Yeah. Okay. So it is your what year anniversary?
8-year anniversary.
8 years anniversary. How does it feel?
It feels amazing. Like I remember day one where I came into it and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? What is this? I know how to travel. I know how to do this, but what is the vision for my group, for my business? And, you know, I just got the idea. I was like, well, all the people attached with me that go into this business with me and join and lock hands with me, we're going to be the most educated travel. We used to be agents. After the pandemic, we became advisors. The most successful travel advisors out there that's going to help people successfully navigate through this travel. Because travel is very complicated. It can be messy. It's a lot of things going on, and it's always ever changing. So, you know, it's like, you know what? We're going to be the best at that. That's what we're going to do. So after 8 years, we're looking at it in our organization. We have 97,000 plus agents that are doing this. And
wow.
We're just starting. We're gonna hit 100 soon, 100,000, and we're gonna keep going. So
that's what's up. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. That's the 6 figures. Y'all hear me? That's the 6. Oh, and I see 6 views right now. Confirmation. So how did you get into travel?
Well, that's a hard and an easy question at the same time. Travel, I got into it because I love it. But for me, as you saw in the video before, traveling, I remember growing up and going down to the country, as we used to call it, Virginia, and going to my grandfather's backyard. He had a farm. I love that adventure, you know. And I was like, I want to stay here and work with the pigs and go through the garden, pick all the different vegetables and pick the peach off the tree and eating it, just the fresh, so all of that. Yeah. But then I love amusement parks. So going to Kings Dominion, which back then was Paramount's Kings Dominion, and then Busch Gardens and Hershey Park, you know, I was like, I like this traveling. I like this adventure stuff. And that all started building to me about, you know, again, looking at those videos, seeing this blue water, seeing all these. I used to always watch the documentaries. I used to always watch the documentaries on the Nature Channel and stuff like that. I was like, I want to go to some of these places. And that sparked my interest right there. And then right after that, it's just like, you know what? Here's an opportunity that someone brought to me because I was doing something else dealing with finances and things like that initially. And that failed and went through. And someone came to me, hey, well, why don't you come over here and try and look at this travel thing? I was like, let me give that a shot. And I realized I want to do something that was exciting to me. And that was my passion. So with that, that's how I got into it.
Okay.
Show me, hey, you can travel. You're doing it anyway. If I could show you how to save some money on it, would you watch this? Absolutely.
especially when you love it so much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, give me a reason.
I'm tired of paying all these high prices. Can you show me how to get something a little bit cheaper or something reasonable for me that makes sense for me? Made sense.
Yeah, I love that. So, bringing up the topic, you told us, you know, you embodied this success, right? And you were coming from a place of passion. But when, you know, that determination and that passion hits the concrete, what do? You know what I mean? And the concrete, aka the pandemic. So that is our topic for tonight: is travel in the post-pandemic era. When the pandemic hit, you, an entrepreneur, starting out in your business, this is like 4 to 5 years in,
right?
Pandemic hits. What'd you do? What'd you do?
So for me, a lot of people got scared, got nervous, and I just looked at it, I was like, I'm not worried about this. I know that travel is recession proof, and I know this will be pandemic proof. And the ironic part about it is I just had to shift some gears. I know, as you know, I love cruising and stuff. So that was my big money maker. And I was like, well, we can't cruise because they say we can't cruise because that's supposed to be the worst thing ever, which it really isn't. But, you know, they say we're going to shut down the cruise line and all that stuff. I was like, but people are still flying here. People are still traveling there. And I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Because they can't do this, they're just shifting their energy and their money somewhere else. So you know what? Let me do that too. So that's when I started booking all types of stuff to Vegas, to Mexico. During that time, people still could go to Mexico and things like that. And it was just like, you know what? I'm keep pushing, and then cruising will come back eventually. And when it does, we're gonna have a good time with it. People will realize cruising and however long this pandemic is going to be having cruise. So when the time comes and we can do this, I got to get out of the United States. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of there. And that was my focus. Just like the pandemic was just an opportunity. A lot of people understand as a business owner, when you come to adversity, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to develop something new because outside of every situation, there's going to be something that you can pull from and grow from and help someone else with. So that's what it was for me.
Okay, well, I see you. That's how you do that. Who else out there has a story about the pandemic and what their business was doing? Because I know for me, I opened 2 businesses due to the pandemic. And I quit my job. That was the first time. Now it's the second, you know. But, you know, I too, like, I felt the bump in the road, you know, and I did have to really focus on getting my momentum back. But it was just like someone just typed, it was an opportunity to grow in a whole different way. It's like when a plant is growing towards the sun and you move the plant and the sun shifts, it just adjusts. It's still growing towards the sun. You just got to adjust. Okay, so you mentioned something called revenge travel.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Sure thing. What revenge travel was the fact that we were pent up for almost 2 years. We couldn't really go and do a lot of things. So during that time with the stimulus checks and all the other things that come out, people were having more money in their pockets. And once they got that chance to go and do things, people just like, we're out, let's go, let's book this. Once cruises started coming, bam, people was filling up these ships left and right and things like that. So it was revenge. I was like, since we missed out on this travel before, we're going to make up for it plus more right now. And that's what it was about. And, that was what really got my business going on that second win. It's just like, cruising's back. I was on the very first cruise that was coming back in town. I got a notification in May.
He was like, "What is bad, y'all?" He's like, "Y'all ready?"
My bag sitting there from the very beginning. It was funny because I will say this: Norwegian Cruise Line. One of my favorite cruise ships is the Norwegian Encore, and I went on the inaugural right before the pandemic. And when it came back, that was the first ship that I went on. It was July the 31st, or like August the 6th. I want to say it was 7 days. And
so it was the last and the first.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
So it was pretty cool, and it's like they invited us to come there. So it was kind of like the inaugural part 2. And it was beautiful. Same thing with Virgin Voyages. I got a chance to go on there for the first time because they started right, and they were set to release their first ship, and the pandemic hit, and they couldn't even sail their first ship. So that ship sit there for that whole time. Nobody ever been on it. And then once we got back into sailing, I was like, let me try that out, and that's been a changer for me. But I did my revenge traveling too, because I tell you, I swear, my everybody was like, hey, every month, where are you at now? Because that was around the time that I left my job, and I was like, I'm doing this full time now. So I left the job. I did that cruise. Next month I did another cruise. Next month I did another cruise. Next month I went, I think it was Mexico somewhere else. Next month I did another cruise. I made up for all those cruises I missed, and that's revenge traveling.
No, right. So I'm going to insert this. So I know you've been keeping up with how many states that you've been in. What are you up to?
26.
26. All right, cause I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. When I set up this next, and Angelique, listen up. When I set up this next friend tour, yeah, because I'm gonna do it backing up to the cruise ATBA is going on. Stick around. When I do the tour leading up to that, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna try my best to make sure everywhere I go, I ain't being so I can check it off my list.
We're gonna have a contest there. I'm telling you,
Okay.
I'm giving myself 5 years to get it done. So you gotta get it done before 5 years.
Okay. Well, let's go. I'm down for the challenge. I'm down for. Hey, and Monique, if you're out there, put your good big girl panties on. Go. We got things to do.
Three-way.
Hey, right. I'm just trying to tell you. Okay, so talking about travel and stuff like that, we do like the luxury and everything of travel. So sometimes it seems like it's not necessarily a necessity. So what do you say about like, what do you find the importance of travel is and why it's critical to do it?
I think the importance of travel is just getting out of your comfort zone. That's like one of the biggest things. Like a lot of times, a lot of people will be born in a specific area and they never leave out of that area. I know people who were born in DC and they've never been anywhere but DC. And I'm just like, hey, y'all got to get out of, y'all got to see there's something more than DC in this world.
Right.
The importance is just, we work and we're always in this 9-to-5 race. It's always constant going. It's time to take for yourself, that self-care, to go away and just relax, just not stress about the things that you stress about every day.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And for me, the other importance is just to expand your knowledge. As you start seeing different cultures and seeing different things and seeing and understanding and learning about other things that's not in your box, you start to have an appreciation and a growth and an interest in more things than what you ever thought you ever knew before. So those are the 3 points for me.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. So what's your favorite kind of travel? Like, I mean, I know what I would assume.
It is cruising.
Yeah, I was like, I would have been shocked. I would have been floored. Oh, if you'd have said,
if I could live the rest of my life on a cruise ship.
Say it again.
I said, if I could live the rest of my life on a cruise ship. I was reading an article not too long ago about a guy who was working remotely, and basically he said, I'm going to spend as much time on the ship, and he's been on there for quite a few months. And I know it's like some retirement people who said that it's cheaper to stay on here than to live in land, so they just go from ship to ship or sail. Wow. And they even have a world cruise that goes on, I think it's like 300 days, 300, something like 270 to 300 days.
They must have one of them accounts where they order their clothes, and then just
well, on there, they got dry cleaning on there, so the dry cleaning they can take care of that. But think about it.
They must have a concierge, like when they go from one ship to the next, they just somebody else take the bag.
Yeah. They can have that. That's a possibility as well. It's a possibility. Depending on what their status is, they can have those type of benefits. But I mean, think about it, you going to different places, you can get clothes from every culture that you.
Right. Yeah.
It's a collection. It's an experience, and I mean, they break it up into 4 parts, but you can do all 4 to make it a year-long cruise, and that's what's becoming popular now.
Wow. Who out there want to go on a year-long cruise?
Put 2 hands up for me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how amazing that would be to just say, I'm just going to be on the ship. And like all my meat is going to be on the ship. You can have what are some things that you've seen businesses, small and large, be able to do on a ship?
Well, there's like almost endless possibilities. If you want to have meetings, things like that, if you want to, they're going to take care of all your living arrangements as far as where you're going to sleep, and they're going to take care of your food and things like that. If you need to get your clothes done, all that stuff, all the important things they have. So it's just a matter of, what you want to. I've seen all types of stuff where I have a friend who does what they call it when you're on the bikes. I can't think.
I know what you're talking about.
Cycling. It's cycling. I can't think of the name of it right now, top of my head. But they have that in there, and they can go up there every day. If you do yoga, you can go on the ship and do yoga every day. So all types of businesses, things like that, it can be plugged into a cruise. And then imagine being able to go on a cruise and you go to an exotic island. You can do yoga on an exotic island. That's out of the box of being in a square box where you normally had in the gym doing it. So
and that was one of the things that really caught my attention when we were having our conversation and putting together the things that I felt were non-negotiables when you're going somewhere for that amount of time. And one of them was they have that full gym and it's 24 hours, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then they have the meditation space. They have the well-being classes. They have the yoga. That all the things, y'all. They have all the things. and they have the spa.
Yep.
And it's like when I was looking at, because I've never been on a cruise, and Tina can vouch for this too, because we were talking. I was texting her about it through DM, and we were discussing. And she was like, "You're gonna be spoiled." She said, "This is your first cruise. You're gonna be spoiled." And I'm like, "I don't want to be spoiled. I'm a lady."
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. So you being a travel advisor, I'm sure we all have heard experiences and heard the tales that people have said, and I'm sure there's a lot of myths that you like to bust being a travel advisor. So what are some of those Pelotons? Is that what she's talking about? Or spin classes? What is
Spin, yes, spin. There we go.
That's what you were talking about, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the spin. I couldn't think of the word.
Peloton is like that's what like the whole company I think does. Yes, there's a meditation space. Like think about that. Look, I'm trying to tell you. We about to go relax, relate, and release. Anybody remember that from a different world? Relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. Whitney Gilbert. Oh, that's what we're about to do. Okay, so tell us some of the myths and bust them for us.
One of the big myths that I get a lot of times is like, why should I use a travel advisor as opposed to booking it myself? And yes, there's a lot of times where you can book things yourself. You might feel that you're getting a cheaper deal, but a lot of times when you see these advertisements and they're saying, oh, you go to cruise for $299, but they're not adding the taxes, the fees, the gratuities. They're not adding the different things that are going to come along with that. Whereas a travel advisor, we're going to look for all that stuff, put it together, say, this is what you're getting. We're going to make sure you have travel protection, things like that. We're going to make sure that you're taken well care of. And then, you don't have to worry about planning all this stuff. If you have any issues, we're going to allocate for that. A lot of times as a travel advisor, I can give you extra stuff. Like, for example, my last group that went on Virgin Voyages, I got them extra, they call it silver loop, but it's onboard credit where they can use towards other things. And, if you go there yourself, you're not going to be able to get it because that's access through a travel advisor. So little deals, things like that, the fact that we are studied. So one of the things I was explaining to this one person, I was like, you think about it, a doctor is specialized in what they do. Same thing as a travel advisor. There's a lot of different fields in travel that we can do, but each travel advisor has their own niche. And those are the ones that you want to look at. If you look at, for me, my niche is cruising for sure. And if you're looking for cruising, I can help you with that. And a lot of people say, well, all travel agents are the same. We're not the same. There are some that's going to care more about you, take care of you, make sure that everything is there for you. Call the places ahead of time, say, hey, I have my guests coming here. Can you make sure you take care of them and make sure that they're in this place and doing these things? Where if you just do it yourself, this is looking at, this is a booking from a third party. We went to Priceline, so we can just put them here. I can negotiate other deals and things. I may not always be able to get it cheaper for you, but the thing that you're going to get from me is that experience, and you're going to get a quality experience.
Yeah. Okay. Quality experience. And that's what I'm like. I told him when we were talking, I'm like, I am not doing this. And this whole situation, the cruise thing, I ain't making nothing off of it. Let's be real. I'm not shit. This is me going to my travel agent saying, I want you to provide a experience for me and my family members at ATBA, because we deserve a good vacation. We deserve to be able to relax, relate, and release. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, we don't have to always be on. Let's go off the land and just have a good time. That's what the cruise is about, the ATBA reunion tour, because it's time for us to get back together. It's time for the gang to get back together. So, we talked about it before, and I actually brought it to you probably twice. And I still kind of teeter-totter. And as I enter this new season into my life, where deuces to Memphis, Tennessee, hello, Huntsville, Alabama. I'm looking for new things. So if someone's interest has been piqued today about travel and what you do, and you making a good living, that you're able to release your job and go traveling all the time. I mean, this joker is on the cruise. If I tell you what, if 9 times out of 10, if I text Deon and say, what you doing? He's either doing one of 3 things. Just got back from a cruise, on a cruise, or on his way to a cruise.
Sounds about right.
That's it.
I feel guilty saying that I'm about to go on a cruise in a couple of weeks. Oh, man.
Exactly. What's up? I called you. I left you a voicemail. I know who that is. So if someone wanted or were interested in being a travel advisor, where do they start? What we doing? What do we do?
All right. I mean, if they're coming to me for that, then I'll definitely sit down with them, pretty much give them a picture of what it's all going to be about, give them an opportunity to see what my business have to offer. And we sit down and have a conversation, adult conversation, and see if it's something that fits them. If they're interested, then I'll show them how to get started, give them the expectation of what they're going to be doing, let them know that, hey, you know, you have access to all this training. You know, when you join forces with me and my team, all this stuff is provided for you. But if you want to get into travel, I mean, one of the things I would say is make sure that you have a passion for it. Make sure it's something that you're really interested in, because it's something, travel is always going to be something that's going to be exciting. You know, everyone wants to travel and all that stuff, but you know, when you're on this side of it, you know, not only are you excited about learning about new things, but you're going to have clients that's going to come to you and say, hey, you know, I want to go to Galapagos, and you've never been there yourself. You never understand, you know, you see videos about it. Now you have to go to your vendors and talk to them and say, hey, you know, I have a client that wants to do this, and they're going to help you build that for you. So it's not always you by yourself trying to learn everything. It's a team event. So, you know, you have to be a team player. So we're going to just go through the expectations and, hey, just sit down and go through it.
Yeah.
You know, I love teaching. I love training. I love helping people get into this, because it's something that will always and never fail to change your life. Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Yeah. And I saw that you had your mentor on Facebook. If y'all go to Deon's Facebook page, he interviewed one of his mentors. What's his name?
Jay Stewart.
Jay Stewart. And y'all been working together since the beginning?
For 8 years.
Day one.
Yeah. He's the one that came to me about this opportunity when I was doing something else. He's like, you know what? I know your heart and what you want to do. When you come on over here and try this tribe. Look at this tribe. I want to show you something. And it all made sense.
Yeah.
It made sense.
Yeah, I love that. So what, I mean, I bet, has he had anybody that's been there with him for, like, anyone he been with day one, like you?
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
Is there anyone else that he's been mentoring since day one, like you? Does he have a lot of people?
Oh, he has a group. I mean, our group is like extensive. Right now, I know we have 97,000. I want to say that he probably has about 3,000 people that he's pouring into.
Wow.
So you know, it's not the whole answer, but it's a big piece of it, you know.
That is a big
piece. You know,
piece
I mean, he's a great guy. You know, that's one of the things I look at is leadership. You know, if you're gonna bring me to somewhere, I need you to lead me there. I need you to be a man of your word, a woman of your word, and you're gonna help me. And not only is, you know, he's helping me, his leader, who is our first millionaire in our company, is his mentor. He comes down to help us as well. So it's a family. We're all helping each other. And that's what I love about this business. And I think if I was trying to do travel by myself and try to become a travel advisor by myself, I don't know if I can make it by myself. Because this is one of those things, it's a community thing. You know, I specialize in cruises. My business partner over here specializes in honeymoon weddings. This one over here, you know, exotic, curated, once in a lifetime type of stuff. So we all pull from each other. And, you know, I was like, hey, look, I need help with this. And sometimes I'll pass my clients and, hey, this is my best business partner here. He's the expert in that. I don't have a problem passing. That's what we do. We help each other. We grow together.
Yeah, I like that. That just gave me a new idea that I did not have. So we got something to talk about. I need to make sure I remember.
Write it down.
So let's get to the good part for me anyway. The ATBA reunion. I better say family reunion. It's pretty much. Who coming to the cookout? Who coming to the cookout? We definitely need a cookout cruise, because that's what we do in the family. We have cookouts. What does it look like? Because, you know, this will be the first cruise that I've ever been on. And I'm going to ask you some questions, because I've been getting a few questions, you know, myself from people. So, but what does it look like? How many days is it? What are some of the things that are included? And what kind of experience have you had with this cruise line?
All right, so we're going to start off with, it's going to be with Virgin Voyages, which is an adult-only cruise. And I really appreciate that, because a lot of times I've been on cruises and you have a lot of kids running around. Not saying that they're bad or anything, but sometimes you just don't want the little kids running around. And, you know, I remember on my first cruise, me and my adult friends were in the hot tub, and this little kid just came in and just jumped in and said, hey guys, what are we talking about? And I'm looking like, nothing. Our whole conversation came to us I do appreciate that. You know, the owner of it is Richard Branson. If you're familiar with Virgin hotels and stuff, they're all connected. He's expanded to cruising now. The ships are very brand new. Like I said, they started right before the pandemic, and you know, they didn't start selling until 2021. So a lot of the ships are just like 2 years or 1 year old. So that's one of the things I like about it. there's a lot of activities and there's a lot of entertainment there as well. What's included is your room, of course, food. Unlike other cruise lines, there is no buffet, so you do not have food. Everything is cooked to order. So when you come in and you order, they're cooking it right there. So you're not gonna be like, oh, let me get in this line and wait to this long line. None of that. All of the food on other cruise lines, they're considered to be specialty dining. That's all included here. Everything here is specialty dining, so you don't have to pay extra for it. It's already included. You just say, I want to go here this time and go. It's as simple as that. All Wi-Fi is included. So if you need to do like streaming and stuff like that, they do have premium Wi-Fi, which is like $25 a day if you want that. But the regular Wi-Fi is good enough to do the regular stuff that you need to do. All fitness classes. So if you want to do the yoga and all that stuff, all that's included as well. Taxes, fees, gratuities included. All your essential drinks. So a lot of other cruise ships you'll go to, they were like, hey, well, here's a charge for sodas and all that stuff. All that's included. What's not included are specially squeezed juices like orange juice and things like that. Specialty coffee, regular coffee is included, but specialty coffee, and then your alcohol. But what they have is a bar tab, and with what they're doing right now, they pretty much are almost giving everybody like a $300. Well, not everybody, but every room a $300 bar tab, and that's more than enough. I mean, I don't know how much people drink, but $300. Most people I know on the last day are trying to get through the end of their bar tab and buying drinks for this person, that person, because they want to use up the money. So Virgin is very willing to give you money. And even with me as a travel agent, I have different ways to give extra money, like I said, to give extra sailor loot, things like that. So it's a very, very amazing ship. With this being a Caribbean sailing, we're going to be hitting the Beach Club at Bimini. And I'm telling you, a lot of cruise ships now have their own personal private island. To me, there's none that is better than the Beach Club at Bimini. You have your pool, you can walk to your left and go straight to the ocean. The food there is amazing. And same thing with the drinks. If you have your thing, you want to do that. Most other cruise lines they're kind of wasteful, where Virgin Voyages is very sustainable. They don't really waste a lot of stuff. And, I like that about them. And they're very responsible about the entertainment, things like that, and everything that's included. So it's a beautiful experience. My experience with them has been amazing from the very first time I got on it to the next 2 times I've been on it. It's been amazing. It hasn't changed. The service has been amazing. And, there's a red night, Scarlet Night, which, you probably saw a picture of me when I was bobbing my head and it looked like it was red. That was from the Scarlet Night. The music in the Scarlet Night is great. They transformed the whole ship, and it's just having adult fun. My favorite place on there, and this is if you cruise with us, when we do this cruise, you're going to find me at 2 places, actually. Take me to ice cream, because I love ice cream, and the ice cream there is phenomenal. And then the social club, where they have arcades that you can play for free. You don't have to put quarters in, that's included. You also have foosball and hockey, and they have a pantry of all these games. They have picnic tables. They make it kind of like a cool area where you can pull out these board games, play the board games. They got shuffleboard. It's just
cornhole. They got cornhole.
They have cornhole.
Cornhole. Do they have cornhole?
On upstairs they do. See? Not in that area, but upstairs they do. So and then they have a boxing ring for people who want to box. I mean, it's a fitness and wellness type of cruise. So they really focus on fitness and wellness. As far as your eating habits, they have a little bit of everything on there. So if you want to eat vegan and all that stuff, they have everything for you. And
oh, that's so good. So one of the questions that I've been getting, and I'm glad someone put in the comments. I've been hopping over the comment because I wanted to post it. But I want you to answer this question, and then I also want to spin off of this question because I've had people asking me, because we're going in October, that they worried about hurricane season. So me and Deon had an extensive conversation about this topic, and I want you to share with them what you shared with me. But first, what is the best time of year that, in your opinion, to cruise? And I think you said it on one of your videos that I was looking through today.
Honestly, any time is a great time to cruise, but ideally, if you're looking for prices and things of that nature, you definitely want to move towards outside of the popular times, because when you think about it, May, June, July, August, and even September, a lot of people are out of school, and it's that summertime, vacation time. So a lot of times that's where the strongest demand is. So of course, prices anywhere is going to be higher when they can take advantage of that situation. So for me, I think the cheapest times have been like November, December, January. October gives some good deals as well. So it depends on what you're looking to do and so forth. But just take into consideration what crowd you're going to be with. For Virgin, I think they're consistent throughout the whole year, so it's not a big thing. They do raise up the prices a little bit during that season of the summer, But outside of that, I mean, they have so many good deals and things like that that is justifiable, and the service and the all the things that they provide for you is worth the price that you're paying for, compared to if you went to another ship and got those exact same things, you would definitely paying way more.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I was noticing too. You know, the price compared to what you get. And I went to a Zoom where the Virgin Voyage representative was talking about the ship and the things you get and the perks and all the things. I don't remember her exact title.
Rosalind, she used to be my BDM, which is business development manager, but she got promoted to sales to a little bit higher. So she's above my BDM now that I have.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Gotcha.
Rosalind, she's amazing. I love her to death. Like,
yeah, it was a very
make sure if I ask for something, she's going to work her best to get it to me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. So I love that, you know, because, you know, and just hearing her say your name, you know, because I was in there and I had my camera off mute, you know. It was a webinar anyway, so it's not like they could see me. But, you know, but when she saw you pop on, she was like, success.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of being a travel advisor. When you build that relationship with the different vendors and stuff like that, you meet people and you develop those relationships where it's going to last even outside of business. So, you know, it's one of those things where she say, hey, if you're coming down to this area and you're here, drop by my house and let's have dinner. It's just that beauty of that connection. I love it. You know, I see some of the questions here. I do want to answer it. But we're leaving out of Miami. I can't, over here it just says Facebook user. I'm not sure who asked that question, but we're leaving out of Miami.
Yeah. And then also October, hurricane season.
Yes.
What are we looking at?
So hurricane season generally is from June all the way until the end of November. But, you know, what I tell people is like, you know, we try to make these problems a problem before they're even manifesting. Most times they don't even manifest. So yes, we have a lot of hurricanes that will come through and so forth. And what will happen is if it affects, say, for example, we get a ship and a hurricane does come out of nowhere and it's saying, hey, we're just coming towards where we are. The cruise ships are going to make sure that they navigate away from it, or, you know, we need to come back home early or whatever. They're going to make sure that we're not in way of the hurricane. If there's a hurricane before, they're going to already adjust the sailing, or, you know, if it's something that we just can't avoid, they're going to cancel it and give you, if you hold on, I do say this a lot of times, if you hold on, they're going to give you something worth your time, even though, you know, you can't go during the time you want to. You know, it might be some extra perks here, or it might, you know, full refund. You know, sometimes when refunds with different cruise lines, you don't get it all the time. You might get a future cruise credit as opposed to your refund. A lot of times they may say, hey, here's a refund because we know we couldn't provide what we promised you. Here's a chance to get your full money refund in case you need it for something else. So a lot of times, I mean, like I said, I'm not worried. I'm going in the cruise in a couple of weeks. I'm not worried about a hurricane thing. If it comes up, I know they're going to take care of me. I'm sure of that. And you know, that's it. I'm not going to say, oh, what if it is, and don't experience life. You know, a lot of times, you know, we make a lot of problems. It's like, you know, well, what if this happened? What if that? Well, what if it don't?
Yeah.
You miss a great cruise. You miss a great experience.
Yeah. And that's a much better conversation if it don't. Because we're going on a cruise. 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 We're going on a cruise.
I can't wait to see y'all on it.
I know, and it's my first cruise ever, and I'm so excited. So, any other questions? Because I think it was Tina that asked. I'm not sure who it was that asked, but no, that was already answered because she was asking what cruise line it was.
Yeah, and Virgin Voyage.
Yeah, she said you answered it. So, I think that was the only. And can I just second this right here? Yay, cause baby. No, you need a break from them kids. You hear me? You need a break from them kids. They're not coming. And we're going to have a blast. We're going to have an absolutely beautiful adult good time. And we're going to show out. I mean, we going to dress to the nine one night. You hear me? I mean, I want you sexy from head to toe. We're going to step out. I know it's inclusive, but the most expensive looking restaurant.
I do want to talk about a couple of restaurants, but I want to answer this question right here. I said, what's the average time for a cruise? It really depends. You can get cruises as short as 3 days, and it goes, like I said, we have one that goes all the way to almost a year. So it depends on what you're looking for. The average, I want to say somewhere between 5 and 7. Most people will take 5 to 7 as an average. 3 to me is too short. If it's your first time cruising, you're not sure if you really like cruising, you might want to do a 3-day. But if you like it, you will have the experience of me where I got on it and I just learned the ships. A lot of these ships are so huge that by the time you learn the layout, that's like day 2, day 3. And you're like, dang, I just got on, y'all kicking me off already. So, you know, generally I always tell people, if you're going to do a first time cruise, and maybe do 4, don't do 3, do maybe 4. I mean, if you're really scared and you already have situations like motion sickness, you might want to do the 3 just to, you know, see it. Even with that, I can tell y'all, if you can get into the center and the lower part of the ship as you can, and that'll balance out all of the movement as much as possible. But most cruise ships that are built like after 2012 have like stabilizers to kind of make things smooth. So it's not going to be as rocky as you know, a lot of people try to make it to be.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. So just get ready, Deon, because when we go, I'm going to be using you as my personal guide, because I'm going to be right behind you where we're going. So if you're going to bring somebody or significant other, just to tell it, already I'm the third wheel, because that's what
I'm just going to say this. I have no problem with that, but I'm going to kick you away from me so you explore the ship, because I'm telling you, lick me till I scream. And the social bar is like where I spend like 80% of my time on Virgin Voyages. I'm telling you now, but there's so many other things on there. Like I want to talk about real quick, the restaurants. My favorite is the Italian, which is extra virgin. You have the where you get steak and seafood at the wake. You have Korean barbecue on there. You have so many different restaurants and stuff there. If you want some sushi, they have sushi and all that stuff. It's just so much on that ship. So you're going to find something that you like. Razzle Dazzle was used originally when Virgin Voyage first started. It was all vegan and vegetarian. But a lot of people say, well, we like this place, but we want some meat. So they altered some things. And that's one thing I do like about Virgin Voyage. When you do go in there, make sure you fill out your survey to tell them what you like and what you didn't like, because they do listen to us as travel advisors, but they also listen to you and change things. So I know the first time I went on there, they made a lot of changes from the second time I went there because of what we told them, what we like and what we don't like. So they're very into making sure that they're giving you the best product as possible. So I love that.
No, that's awesome. That's amazing. And so when you were talking about those juice prices and things like that earlier, because I want the package with alcohol in it. Like I'm not shy about it. And I don't care what you think about it. I want the package with alcohol in it. And I want the squeezed juice. I want the juice. I want all the juice. What does that look like?
All right. So there is no like package for it. It's just a bar tab. And if you order your bar tab before you get on a cruise ship, it's gonna be $300. They give you an extra $50 for ordering it before you get on there. So that's $350 that you paid only $300 for. And that, like I said, to get through that, I mean, a freshly squeezed juice might be like $5. I mean, how many of those are you going to drink? I need to talk to Roz and see if I can get that slide. She had a slide to tell you for a bar tab how many of each drinks you can get. And I'm telling you, anybody can drink all that. You might be a fish. You might be a fish.
You might be a fish.
Might be a fish. I see a question here. Is there a time frame to eat on the cruise ship? On this one, it's really open. What I like about Virgin, a lot of other cruise lines have this thing where they have certain times where you're supposed to eat. Here, it's up to you. You do what you want to do. There are some restaurants that are going to be open during certain times, like Extra Virgin is open generally only starting like I think 6 o'clock all the way until like 10. But there are other places like Razzle Dazzle. You get brunch, you can eat lunch, dinner. That's open all the time. The galley is open pretty much all the time. Things like that. The pizza place, I didn't talk much about that, but the pizza place is an amazing place to go to as well. And you can get food there throughout the whole day. And just so you know, you can get room service.
I'm like, Drew.
I don't feel like, on my bed today, Ken. I'm going by the tablet. And this is something cool about Virgin Voyage. They're very upbeat. So a lot of things in your room is controlled by the iPad. So you can just go in there and click, yeah, I want to do this, and the food comes to you. This nice little package. I have to show you a picture of it. But it's a nice little package. They come in, you unzip it. It's all cute. You pull the little trays out. And... I'm just saying. Just saying.
I'm just saying.
If you're hungry on the ship, you're going to find places to eat. There's no missing that.
Look, I'm going to lose 10 pounds so I can go on the cruise and gain 10 pounds. Do you hear me?
Well, remember, you have the gym up there so you can work out and balance it out while you're on there.
You're smart. You're just wise, Deon.
I'm telling you. I have no restrictions when it comes to a cruise, especially when it comes to ice cream. Yep, you can get a massage. They have a spa on there. The spa area is really nice. When you get onto the ship the very first day, I always recommend people go to the spa because sometimes they have deals. They have raffles with free things, as well as you can go ahead and put your bookings into what you want to do ahead of time and see the prices and all that stuff. So take advantage of that. A lot of people are like, well, I get on the ship, I don't know where to go. I'll give you a list of all the places to go when you first get on the ship. Okay. And what I like about Virgin Voyages as well is that you have a longer period. Like a lot of times the cruise ship will get there at 7 in the morning. You got to be back on the ship by 3 to get to your next one. Here, you can get back on the ship at 8 o'clock because they're going to leave at nighttime. So you can go on your excursions during the day. You can hang out a little bit longer, then come back to the ship later on. You don't have to be such in a rush. Like, I got to hurry to get to the excursion, hurry to get back to the ship. You don't have to rush.
Yeah, nice. We got another question here. Can you take alcohol off of the ship? Is it answer that for when you get back home and also on the excursions?
All right, so you can get alcohol on the excursions. When you get onto the ship, they're going to confiscate it and give it to you when you get off of the ship. There is a place on the ship that has where you can buy alcohol. I think with that, you can actually take that to. I have to maybe check that just to make sure. But I think if you buy it on the ship while you're able to, when you're not at land or port, then you can buy it. You might be able to use that as while you're on there.
Okay.
I'm
going to say that again. Make sure I understand. If you're on the ship and you buy bottles of alcohol or even cups of alcohol, when you get to the excursion, you have to leave it on the ship and get off. And then while you're on the excursion, if you buy something and you want to bring it back on the ship, you can, but they take it until you port and get off of the ship at home.
Yes.
Not the next excursion, but at home.
When you get home, yep. Anytime that you bring anything from any excursion or any time that you buy something else that's food related, especially alcohol, food, they're not going to let you bring the food back on. So whatever you have, you need to eat while you're there. But with alcohol, they're going to confiscate that and they're going to put it into, they're going to put your name and have everything wrapped up so they'll have it ready for you. So when you leave the night before, they might, it depends on the cruise ship. Sometimes the night before you leave, they'll give it to you because sometimes you can pack it into your luggage and they'll take it off for you, or you might want to take it off yourself. But you'll just check down with them to get it. And they'll let you know when you can get it when you're checking in.
Okay.
But they don't really want to cross-contaminate a lot of things from different countries coming into the ship and things like that. So they're very particular about certain foods and certain things that you can bring back. I mean, like bottles to take home if you're a cruise. I wouldn't allow us to take alcohol when we party. Yeah. There is a limit of how much you can buy and take. And I think the main thing is mandated by the I don't know. Can't think of the name of it right now. Drawing a blank. But when you get off the ship and they check you and all that stuff, and you have to declare what you have, a lot of times it's going to be more or less what you can take onto the airplane than the ship, because cruise ships generally allow a little bit more flexible than the airline. So it depends on what you can bring. But a lot of times they say 5 bottles. But if you got 2 people, you can bring 10. You take 5, I take 5. You know, just got to work it out. But yeah, you can get stuff like things like that and bring it onto the ship. You're just not going to be able to get it until you leave the ship.
Gotcha. So like if you were taking stuff off the cruise line and you're driving home, you're probably gonna be able to take more than if you had to get on a plane and fly home, because they ain't letting you take that on the plane no way. So think about
customs.
that part.
There we go. Customs. I couldn't think of that same. I like customs.
Yeah, just because the cruise lets you take it doesn't mean you're gonna be able to take it on the airplane to get it home.
Yeah.
So okay, but you know you can always mail it once you get
that is an option.
Mail it. And then
some people do mail. Might be a little expensive depending on how you mail it, but that's always an option.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think everyone is complete. I enjoyed all my I will spend my $300, and if I don't, y'all drinking it. I mean, I don't drink alcohol, you're gonna get this juice.
And the thing is, with that, get yourself a specialty coffee. I mean, at the end of the day, you can use the bar tab on any of the drinks and things like that. You can also use your Sailor Loop on drinks or anything else. But the bar tab has to be with the beverages and drinks that you buy. The Sailor Loop can be used for anything. You can even use the Sailor Loop to put towards your excursions.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we are having Sailor Night. I never feel like I'm saying it right. So we can talk more about the ATBA cruise. So this is going to be a week and a day from today. Will you tell us a little bit about what to expect? So this is for anyone who's interested in the cruise for ATBA, and also just seeing what it looks like for the cruise. Like if you're already decided that you're going, this is definitely for you. This is more so for the people who's like, I'm going and I want to see, so that you can go ahead and make your payment and get in on all the deals, all the perks, all the loot, because this is not something that's going to last all the time. This ain't going to last long at all, actually. So make sure that you are on the call. It is next Monday, a week from tomorrow. Tell them a little bit about it, Deon.
So my BDM, Andre, will be there with me, and he'll be pretty much giving you all of the information pertaining to Virgin Voyages, what Virgin Voyages is about, the mission, the statements, and all that stuff, the different parts on there, what you can expect when you're going on there, as well as, we're going to have a question and answer. If you have questions, you can ask your questions directly to a representative of Virgin Voyages right then and there. So it's a great time to get your questions answered. It's a great time to get a look of the ship and get a feel for what it's about. All 4 of the ships that they have, 3 are out now, 1 is coming out next year. They all have the same design, so it's all the same as far as that, but the experience is a little bit different because, different crew members do different things with different ships. So, that might be a little bit different, but the feel of the whole cruise for Virgin Voyage is always going to be the same. It's going to be amazing. They're going to take very good care of you. And this time for Sailor Night is just a time for you to say, hey, I want to see what it's about. I want to get any of my questions answered, as well as, let me just go ahead and lock in these deals that you're going to give me from this experience. So
yes. All right. Well, this has been a blessing, and I think everybody thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. Thank you guys for being here on the conversation and being so interactive and asking the questions. This is what I like. This is really, 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 really what I like. So thank you all for taking the time to be with us. And I can't wait to see you in a week and a day on the Zoom. Yeah. We're going to make sure. Go ahead. Yes.
I was going to say, we're going to send, for those people who are interested, definitely reach out to Carrie so we can get a list of who's interested. We're going to have a registration. I'm going to be talking to Andre on Monday, so I can send you guys a link so you can register. And it'll send you a reminder to remind you just in case you forget. So, I know how it is sometimes that, we have so many things going on that it slips our mind. So definitely, if you're very interested or you just want to check and see what it's about, have any questions, definitely reach out to Carrie so she can get a list together, and we'll go ahead and send the links out to that. And to the person I can't see, it just says Facebook user, great information. I'm a new cruiser. Welcome to cruising.
Yeah. Yeah. One more question before we head out right quick. Have motion sickness pretty bad. Do you recommend anything special or just don't do it?
So there's different ways to do it. Some people like the patch where they put it on their arm, and I'm not sure. I don't have motion sickness, so I'm not sure how that actually works. But there's a patch on the arm. A lot of people get Dramamine, so that works. Again, with you having motion sickness pretty bad, I would say you definitely want to get a room that's in the center of the ship and a little bit lower down, so like to the middle of the ship. That's the best place for you to be, that you're going to get the minimized movement of the ship.
Yeah, center of gravity. You're more closer to the center of gravity. Yeah,
exactly.
Very good. And then this, if you pay to go, but something comes up, is it transferable?
Yeah, so I'll always recommend you get travel insurance in case anything comes up. But with this, if you pay and you need to cancel before the cancellation date, then yes, you'll get your money back and or future cruise credit depending on how you paid. And we can talk about that one-on-one if you need more clarification on that.
Okay, perfect. So there are options.
Oh, and one other thing I want to say about Virgin Voyages, if, say, for example, you're cruising with someone, you have all the way up to 48 hours before the cruise that you can change the name, and there's no fee to that. So don't feel like some people are like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be with this person. I don't know who my person's going to be. You have all the way until 48 hours before that cruise to change names.
I was so tickled when he told me that. He's like, you never know. You never know if somebody says
it happens. It happens. I mean, sometimes it's bad things like that, but then sometimes it's separation.
Yes. So you have 48. So if you get 2 tickets and you are in charge of the tickets, and this ticket needs to have a different name, you have 48 hours to change that name. It can be any name you want. It don't have to be the name you started with. Just to give some of y'all a little wiggle room. Yep. I'm glad I don't have to wiggle, Deon. I don't have to wiggle no more.
There you go.
I love it. Thank you so much, cousin. I love you so much. I love
you too. Thank you for having me on here. And I got your back on anything you need.
And I know you do. And I appreciate you. So y'all, thank you so much for sliding through and sticking with us. And I do hope you come back next week looking good, feeling good, and smelling good, all the goods. And let me love on you, because I love you and ain't nothing you can do about it. You hear me?
Amen.
All right, guys. See you next week. See ya. Thank you, Deon.
Thank you.
As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. You know, at 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that, no, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?